Story 1. The Stalker in the Funhouse. I hate festivals. The noise, the crowds, and the smell of greasy food make me sick. But a few years ago, my sister dragged me to the local festival. After a while, she got bored and wanted to go, so I called my mom to pick her up. I decided to stay, not wanting to go home and face my dad, with whom I was arguing. As night fell, I figured I might as well make use of my money and explore. I walked into the funhouse, expecting it to be crowded, but it was strangely empty. The lack of laughter and conversation made the place feel unsettling. I shrugged and started walking in, laughing at the warped mirrors. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a bald man with sunken eyes staring at me. I turned around, but he was gone. My anxiety grew as I kept seeing his reflection, always with a maniacal grin. I yelled at him to leave me alone, but there was no response. I walked faster, trying to find my way through the maze of mirrors. Suddenly, a hand grabbed my wrist. I screamed and punched his arm, breaking free. The man was dressed in gray, with a tired, haggard face. I ran out of the funhouse, but realized my wallet was missing. I reported the incident to an employee who seemed confused and said the funhouse was closed for the night. Horrified, I insisted on calling the police, but they found nothing, not even my wallet. They dismissed my theory that the man was a former employee with a key. A week later, my girlfriend called in a panic. Someone had texted her, pretending to be me, and lured her to a remote location to help patch a tire. Luckily, she took her father. When they arrived, they found 6 men waiting. Her father sped off before they could be arrested. The happy man at home must have gotten her phone number from my wallet. We changed all our contact information, and months passed without incident. The experience left me traumatized and distrustful of the festival. I tried to block out the memory, but the fear was still there. I hated the festival more than ever, and I would never set foot in one again. Story 2. The Curse of the Clown. Growing up in a small town in Pennsylvania, the annual carnival was the highlight of the summer. My friends and I eagerly anticipated the rides, the games, and of course the clowns. But one summer, the carnival brought a new clown, unlike any we had ever seen before. His name was Smiley, and there was something unsettling about him. His smile seemed too wide, his eyes too piercing. One evening, my friends and I dared each other to take a picture with Smiley. As we approached him, his eyes locked with mine, and I felt a chill run down my spine. He didn't say anything, just motioned for us to come closer. We reluctantly posed for the picture, and when the flash went off, I swear I saw his smile grow even wider. That night, strange things started to happen. My friend Danny, who took the photo, woke up with scratches on his arm. Sarah, who was closest to Smiley, started having nightmares. We chalked it up to coincidence, but deep down we were all scared. A week later, Danny disappeared. The police searched everywhere but found no trace of him. Sarah's nightmares got worse, and she started seeing Smiley in her dreams. Desperate for answers, we returned to the festival, hoping to find Smiley and confront him. What shocked us was that there was no record of a clown named Smiley. The people who worked at the festival insisted they had no idea who we were talking about. Determined, we snuck into the festival grounds after closing time. We found Smiley's tent hidden behind the main attractions. Inside, we discovered old, faded photographs of children, each with a date. The newest was of Danny. Suddenly Smiley appeared, his smile more sinister than ever. He spoke in a low, husky voice, telling us that he collected souls to maintain his immortality. We tried to run, but the tent seemed to close in around us. Smiley lunged at us, and everything went black. I woke up in bed, drenched in sweat. My friends and I never spoke of that night, but the nightmares continued. Danny was never found, and the carnival left town the next day. We later learned that similar disappearances had occurred in other towns the carnival had visited. Smiley's curse haunted us for years. We moved on with our lives, but the fear never truly went away. The memory of that sinister clown and his cursed smile remains a dark shadow in our childhoods, a reminder of the dangers lurking behind the painted smiles and bright lights of the festival. Story 3. The Forgotten Clown. Every year, my town holds a carnival. It's a big event. Carousels, fairground rides, hall of mirrors, and Ferris wheels. They really go all out for one weekend this October. Growing up, I got sugar sickness, as my mom liked to call it, from all the cotton candy and funnel cakes. I only felt the symptoms after the night was over. As I lay in bed, clutching my prize, I ignored the discomfort and replayed the entire carnival in my head. I skip carnivals now. They don't do anything for me anymore. So imagine my disappointment when my girlfriend, who helps organize the carnival, dragged me along one night after the crowds had left. "No lines," she yelled. "You even know how to turn on the Ferris wheel." I tried to sound excited. She pulled me over to the shooting gallery, and we sat down in front of a booth with a bunch of water guns. Some precision targets were hanging about 15 feet away. We shot and fired, but of course I let her win. I jumped over the booth and walked over to the prize rack. Giant stuffed animals, baseball caps, and t-shirts lined the wall. "Which one do you want?" I yelled back. She tried to act like she was making a life-changing decision. I admit it was cute. Before I picked, I saw her pull out her cell phone and take a picture of me next to the prizes. I was trying to decide between you or the stuffed octopus next to the clown doll. "I'll take the octopus." I rolled my eyes and reached over the clown doll to grab the octopus. From there, she pulled me over to the carousel. I watched her disappear into the engineer's control room, and seconds later, the game started and the carousel started moving. During the ride, she felt it was time to take another photo. I tried really hard to smile. We were only in the mirror hallway for a few minutes. It was pitch black there. We kept bumping into mirrors and each other. Of course, she took a photo there too. The bright flash didn't help us get lost. After the scary situation in the mirror hallway, we decided to leave. She told me she would go home and post the photo. The next morning, I went on Facebook and saw the little album she uploaded. I started reading through the comments. What surprised me were the following comments. "I love the clown ruining the photo. Who dressed up as a clown?" I looked at the photos again, and sure enough, there was one. In the carousel photo, there was a tall clown in the background. The speed of the carousel made his image a bit blurry, but I could see he was just standing there, his arms hanging down. In the hallway of mirrors, a flash illuminated the face of a smiling clown in a mirror in the corner of the photo. There was something creepy and twisted about his expression. How many times had I bumped into him thinking he was my girlfriend? And finally, There was the photo of me standing next to the prize rack of the shooting gallery. He was standing next to the octopus I got for my girlfriend. I thought he was a doll. The realization made me sick. I was only a hair's breadth away from him. His warm breath must have brushed against my skin. I called my girlfriend, who was still asleep, and asked her if she knew about the clowns hired for the carnival. Her answer made me shiver. They got rid of the clowns 5 years ago when parents complained that they scared the kids. Story 4. The Cursed Carnival Ticket. Ever since I was a child, I loved carnivals. The lights, the rides, the fun. Growing up in a small town in Indiana, there wasn't much to do, so whenever carnival was on, I was there. One day, while reading through the dusty history section of the town library, I found an old carnival ticket from over 15 years ago. Excited, I kept it, thinking it would be a great addition to my collection. The date on the ticket matched the day the carnival came to town. The next evening, I went to the carnival and showed the old ticket to the gatekeeper. His face was pale, and he handed it back without punching it, looking scared. During the strange reaction, I wandered around, enjoying the rides and food. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The carnival staff looked at me strangely, which made me increasingly nervous. Curious, I showed the ticket to an elderly game operator. His reaction was even more disturbing. He told me that the ticket had a dark story attached to it. 15 years ago, a young carnival worker named Ryan had disappeared without a trace. His wallet, containing a similar ticket, was found, and since then, strange accidents and sightings had plagued the carnival. Although the old man warned me to leave the ticket behind, I kept it. Soon, a series of unfortunate events occurred. I missed the bus to school, got into a bicycle accident, and my best friend accused me of stealing his baseball card. My mother lost her job, my brother broke his leg, and our family pet died. The old man's warning about the ticket stirred up everything that haunted me. One rainy afternoon, after a particularly bad day, I decided to throw the ticket away. I tore it into pieces and threw them into the creek behind my house. Almost immediately, my luck improved. My friend found his baseball card and apologized. My mom got a better job, and my life returned to normal. I will never know if the ticket was cursed or just a coincidence, but I learned to be more careful about what I brought home, and my love of the festival, though diminished, remains a cherished part of my childhood memories. Story 5. The Fun House's Secret Tunnel. Starting a new job is always a mix of excitement and anxiety. When I landed a summer gig at a local festival in downtown Los Angeles, I was just looking to make some extra cash before my senior year of college. The festival was a typical event with rides, games, and food vendors, but its main attraction was the Fun House, which also served as a haunted house after dark. The Fun House was actually an old mansion, which added to its eerie charm. My job seemed simple: usher guests, make sure they were having a good time, and watch them leave. But soon, I started noticing strange things. I counted a dozen people entering, but only 11 walked out. At first, I thought I had miscounted. Keeping track amid the chaos of laughter and screams was no easy task. But as the day wore on, the numbers kept increasing. 7 in, 6 out. 10 in, 9 out. Was I crazy? One busy afternoon, a striking blonde caught my eye as she walked into the fun house. She seemed out of place in the childlike atmosphere. I led her into the play area, but as the groups that had come in after her began to appear, I began to worry. She should have been out. Concerned, I abandoned my post and went inside to look for her. I locked the door behind me and walked through the dimly lit rooms. I discovered a door hidden behind a barely visible seam in the wall. It opened, revealing a pitch-black hallway. Curious, I walked down the hallway with my phone flashlight. Eventually, I found another door that led back into the festival area. I was relieved to realize that some of the guests must have stumbled upon this secret exit. A further exploration, however, led me to another hidden door with a ladder leading down into the darkness. The smell of decay was overwhelming. Against all instinct, I climbed down, driven by the fear that the girl might be in danger. At the bottom, I found a tunnel that was clearly not part of the mansion. My flashlight shone on a white, glittering purse. The girl's purse. Panicking, I screamed, and soon I heard hurried footsteps. A girl's voice echoed, pleading for help. She emerged from the darkness, clutching her waist. Although she insisted on following, I forced her up the ladder. She had no memory of how she got there, only that she heard voices in the darkness. I called the police, but she left before they arrived. Their investigation revealed that the mansion was a Prohibition-era safe house with secret passages leading to underground tunnels. The owner claimed ignorance, but I remained skeptical. I quit my job and left, haunted by unanswered questions about the girl's mysterious ordeal and the dark history of the fun house.